I woke up one sunny morning with a feeling of excitement bubbling inside me. Today was the day I had been eagerly waiting for, an adventure with my grandfather, Papa Jack. He was known for his thrilling stories and love for the outdoors. This time, he promised to take me on a one-day mountain adventure, and I couldn't have been happier. As soon as I saw Papa Jack's old green Jeep parked in front of our house, my heart skipped a beat. I ran out the door and gave him the biggest hug, practically jumping into his arms. "Ready for our big adventure, Marni?" he asked, his eyes twinkling with excitement. I nodded vigorously, unable to contain my enthusiasm. Papa Jack had always been my hero, and any adventure with him was bound to be unforgettable. We drove for what felt like hours, deep into the heart of the mountains. The trees whizzed past us, their leaves rustling in the wind. The air was crisp and filled with the scent of pine and adventure. I couldn't wait to see what lay ahead. Finally, we arrived at our starting point, a picturesque trailhead nestled in the heart of the mountains. Papa Jack parked the Jeep, and we got out, our hiking boots crunching on the gravel. I gazed up at the towering trees surrounding us, feeling a mixture of awe and excitement. "Are you ready, Marni?" Papa Jack asked, his smile warm and inviting. I nodded again, my heart pounding with anticipation. Together, we started our hike along the winding trail, the sound of a babbling brook accompanying our journey. We had barely gone 100 steps when we reached a small river, its crystal-clear waters shimmering under the morning sun. Papa Jack looked at me mischievously and said, "What do you say, Marni? Shall we jump over the river?" My eyes widened with excitement, and I eagerly nodded. We took a few steps back, crouched down, and then sprang into the air. I felt like a soaring bird as I cleared the river, landing safely on the other side. Papa Jack followed suit, and we shared a triumphant high five. Our adventure continued as we climbed over fallen trees, some so massive that it felt like conquering a forest giant. Each obstacle we overcame filled me with a sense of accomplishment. The world around us was a wonderland, and I couldn't believe I was a part of it. As we walked, Papa Jack encouraged me to stop and smell the flowers we encountered along the way. I inhaled deeply, their sweet fragrances filling my nostrils. It was like discovering a secret world hidden within the woods, a world that only those who took the time to notice could appreciate. But as we hiked further up the mountain, I began to feel tired. My legs were aching, and my energy was waning. I didn't want to stop, so I kept pushing forward. However, my exhaustion must have shown on my face because Papa Jack suddenly stopped and knelt down to my level. He looked into my eyes with a reassuring smile and said, "Marni, it's okay to feel tired sometimes. In fact, it's perfectly normal. But you know what's important? Knowing when to rest and when to keep going." I nodded, understanding his words. "So, what do you say we stop for a picnic?" Papa Jack suggested. I couldn't have been more thrilled at the idea. We found a cozy spot by a gurgling brook, spread out a checkered blanket, and unpacked a delicious lunch Papa Jack had prepared. As we ate sandwiches and sipped from our thermos of hot cocoa, I felt rejuvenated. After our meal, Papa Jack looked at me and asked, "Marni, do you want to go home now, or do you want to continue our adventure?" I thought about it for a moment. I had come this far, and I didn't want to give up. "I want to continue, Papa Jack," I declared with determination. With a proud smile, he nodded, and we packed up our picnic. As we climbed higher, the trail became steeper and more challenging. But I was determined to reach the top, no matter how tired I felt. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, we reached the summit of the mountain. I couldn't believe my eyes as I looked out at the breathtaking view before me. The mountains stretched out as far as I could see, their peaks touching the sky. The world felt infinite, and I felt like I was on top of it. Papa Jack put his arm around my shoulder and said, "Marni, do you know what the most important lesson of this adventure is?" I looked up at him, eager to learn. He smiled warmly and said, "The lesson is this. When you're tired, it's okay to rest, but don't give up. If you had turned back earlier, you would have missed this beautiful view." I nodded, his words sinking deep into my heart. I learned an invaluable lesson today, the importance of perseverance and determination. I realized that life was full of challenges, and it was okay to take a break when needed, but giving up was not the answer. As Papa Jack and I made our way back down the mountain, I felt a newfound sense of confidence and resilience. I knew that I could overcome any obstacle as long as I kept moving forward, just like I did today. And I also knew that I would cherish this adventure and the lesson it taught me for the rest of my life. Looking back on that day, I now understand that life is like a mountain, filled with ups and downs. Sometimes we get tired, and that's okay. But giving up means missing out on the most beautiful moments that lie just beyond the challenges. So, the next time you feel tired or face a difficult situation, remember Marni's mountain adventure and keep going. You never know what breathtaking view awaits you at the top.